this is something I kind of really wanted to talk about. And I feel like this is going to get the comments of, no, never let JDF be the Green Ranger, never give his powers to anyone else. He is the true Green Ranger, blah, 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 blah. I think this is going to be one of those videos. And I kind of really want to talk about this because if they do this in the 30th anniversary, could this be that another person gets the Dragon powers or the Green Ranger powers and then they pass on? Or will they stick with them being with JDF? And now we all know, and we all know this, that basically Tommy sells the entire brand. Now you could obviously continue to make multiple Green Ranger figures or toys or use his likeness until the end of time, which I generally think that Hasbro or whoever takes over from Hasbro in the future, that's probably Mattel. I don't think it would be, but if I predict this now, then you've heard this first. The thing is, like, they obviously want to make brand new toys and stuff like that, and they may not want to use JDF's likeness, whatever reason it is. Would fans really be annoyed is if they actually turn around and used another character to have the powers? Yes or no? Literally put it in the comments on what you think. Now, with Adam possibly being the Green Ranger for the 30th anniversary, we don't know if it's been confirmed or not. We have no idea. But in my eyes, that's probably what I would do for the one-off if we weren't able to get Jason David Frank to record the lines, etc., etc. So if Adam became the new Green Ranger, would people be pissed off about it, or would people be okay with it? Me personally, I would actually be okay for Adam becoming the new Green Ranger. We know that the 30th anniversary has been completed, and that was filmed before JDF's passing. And we know that Tommy is going to be there until old age, which we saw in the Power Rangers Zeo episode, where he's an old man with Catherine and they're reading to their grandson and they meet JJ. Now, originally I was like, I don't know where I stand on this. Do I want this to happen? Would I be okay with this? Would it be weird seeing someone else have those powers? Technically, like, we've seen other people use them. Super Mega Force, they used that powers, and I'm definitely sure that they turned into they turned into Mighty Morphing. So we have seen the powers be used in other ways, even if they were copies or if they were the actual powers. I have no idea. But either way, we've seen the other people use those powers, and I don't think anyone really got really upset when it's like, oh, like Orion, he used these powers. Like, no one was like, how dare they? It's just JDF's. I'm guaranteed there's probably some posts out there, but in theory, no one really has batted an eyelid about it and said anything bad. Now, if I was on the fence, I would still be happy that Adam got these powers, because I think out of every single person that he would actually use the powers for what it is. And now, kind of thinking about this is completely separate. Saban and all that wanted Johnny Young Bosch to actually be the next Tommy. That's the reason why he grew out his hair, in case Jason David Frank left for whatever reason. And they wanted him to be the new Tommy that everybody looked at. And it's so weird kind of thinking about it now, that if this is true, that whole thing that back in the day of Turbo and whatnot has actually happened. And now Johnny Young Bosch, aka Adam, is actually Tommy, or a version of Tommy, which I think would be kind of creepy as well. Just kind of foreshadowing it, I think. But yeah, I do think that if Johnny Young Bosch became the Green Ranger, I think he'd get a lot of hate. I think a lot of people would tweet at him, would post about him and say like, not my Green Ranger type thing. And I don't do that. Like, literally, don't go after someone if they take up the role of someone else, because that's not cool. It's not going to do anything, and JDF would not like it. Yes, that's right. I used that because I know that's what he would say. He'd be like, man, take the powers, be very thankful for them. You've got a big role to play, but I'm glad it's you, Johnny. I'm glad it's you. That's how I imagine JDF would say. I don't think he'd say anything different about it. And obviously he knows the powers are in good hands if they obviously decide to keep Johnny Young Bosch or Adam to have these powers. To me, this is going to be really interesting on how they do this, if this is going to go down the road that they think it is. Adam being one of the biggest fan favorites in the Power Ranger, or in Power Ranger history, should I say. I think he having the powers would be the best thing, because they would be safe. Again, Johnny Young Bosch could return when needed be, and thus therefore carry on as normal. Hence, he could probably get a Master Morpher from going from Black MMPR to then obviously Zeo, to then Turbo, and then back to MMPR. I think it'd be kind of a really nice thing to actually have, and I think it would work pretty much well. Now, again, it does kind of come to the diff of what would fans think? Would they hate it? Would they not? And again, that's a question that I want to put out to you is, would you think that this is right or not? Either way, I'm going to kind of leave it there. I would like to know what they have planned with Tommy. Like, even if they turn around and released a tweet and said, JDF will be voicing it, or we're going to wait until we actually hear it in April and we get like teary-eyed because this was his last role. I would love it if this was JDF's last role and this was his way of saying goodbye to the fans. But if Johnny Young Bosch as Adam takes up the role of the Green Mighty Morphing, I don't think I have a problem with it. I just think it'll be a little bit weird for a while just to think of him as that Ranger. But then again, I think he'd do a really bang-up job for it, and I'd be all for it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。